The eldest man in the community has actually warned Naomi to make sure that she does not get herself involved with some of the issues that are always happening in the palace. This is because each time the Oloris do something wrong and the Oni wants to scold them, Naomi always has a way of getting involved to make it so that the Oni will not get very very angry with all these women anymore. Hello everyone and welcome to D and Z TV, the place where we give you up-to-date information of everything happening in the palace of the Oni of Ife. We check useful analysis of everything as it happening and we bring them to you live and direct. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, I urge you right now to click on the subscription button, comment, like and share our videos so that we will always bring more up-to-date information of everything happening at the palace of the Oni of Ife. Okay, so what exactly is actually happening right now is that each time something happens in the palace, each time there's a misunderstanding in the palace, each time there's a mishap in the palace, the Oni always wants to take a very drastic step on the Oloris. The Oni tries to take a drastic step to make them learn some lessons, to put them through. But guess what always happens? Naomi always has a way of standing in between the Oni and the Oni and the Oloris. Naomi has made herself to become a kind of object of settlement, whereby the Oni uses her as a yardstick. Each time something wants to happen, something wants to go wrong, the Oni will always look at Naomi's face and decides to forgive the Oloris. So right now, the eldest man in the community told Naomi that that thing is actually part of why she's having the problem she's having, because she is not allowing justice to happen and justice to take place. And each time something like that wants to happen, she gets involved, which at the end of the day, the Naomi will not now, the Oni will not carry out the what he actually wants to do anymore. It has actually constantly happened, and every time it happens like that, Naomi will always stand in the way. But guess what? The women are now using it as a privilege. The women are now using it as a right. To them now, it's not becoming like, okay, after all, it's not a big deal. And Naomi is always definitely going to come to our aid. So when things like this consistently happens like this again, before you know it, some people will now begin to feel out of place, not being able to actually activate and actualize their actual mindset and value of what they are doing. But my problem actually is the fact that these women do not actually value what Naomi is always doing for them. Yes, they do not value what Naomi is doing for them, because if they value what Naomi is doing for them, they will actually regard Naomi more. You know, they will actually regard Naomi more. They'll actually know that she's actually there to protect their interests. Because if you notice, Naomi is someone who respects herself very, very well. Yes, Naomi has a way of respecting herself very well. Naomi doesn't meddle in things that don't concern her. Naomi is always in her own lane. When things happen, when things want to happen, and the only wants to feel bad, he always wants to forgive them all because of Naomi. So if things like this are happening in the palace, the women should actually try and show some level of appreciation. Yes, they can as well just show appreciation, simple appreciation of, okay, well, Naomi, thank you for where they don't have that kind of thing in their mind. All their own is always to show elements of disrespect for Naomi. And these kind of elements of disrespect are things that, if care is not taken, they cannot actually ascertain the true nature of how things can be done. They cannot actually ascertain the true level of thinking, the true level of exasperation, the true level of showing divine connection to grace. You see, there's this thing that I normally say, that grace is something that works for you, and people's grace is different. Different people have different kind of graces. So if for any reason you do not celebrate the kind of grace that God is bringing your way, then you're bound to have a lot of problems. You're bound to have a lot of limitations. you're bound to have a lot of things that will not work for you the way they should naturally work for you. So therefore, it is very, very important for Naomi to actually heed to the instruction of this Baba right now, who actually took out time to see that no matter what it is, no matter what happens, he will always do his own bid. It's one thing for you to have a testimony, it's another thing for you to pass that testimony round to another person. Most people, when they hear testimonies or they hear prophecies like that, they tend not to want to take it serious. So if a prophecy comes and you do not take the prophecy serious, so what are you insinuating? What you're definitely insinuating now is, after all, you do not really value this thing that they are bringing to you, so it doesn't really make any economic sense. It doesn't really worth anything. So it is pertinent to note that right now, Olori Naomi has been actually warned to disease away from anything that will bring her shame, anything that will bring her issues, anything that will bring her different forms of heartache and headache. She should stay away from them, because if you doesn't stay away from them, before you need, all these women want to somehow uh, take it upon themselves to disassociate from Naomi, take it upon themselves to have some form of negativity happening around them. They will always want to throw tantrums. These women have a way of throwing tantrums at people have um who do not really have something to offer. The level of disrespect for some time now has really been much. So that is why Naomi right now have been advised to always try and see that she maintains her lane, so that nobody will disrespect her. Because truth be told, I personally, as a person, I hate disrespect. If somebody wants me to get angry or anything, just disrespect me. So there is no point people disrespecting other people in the palace. And even if you must disrespect anybody, Naomi, she is the last person anybody with anything at all should be able to disrespect. Whether you like it or not, Naomi has paid her dues in this town. Yes, Naomi has paid her dues. And if someone like Naomi has paid dues the way she has paid dues, then I think it is very, very important for she to be respected. Now, the elders in the community have now come and told Naomi that, Naomi, stay away from most of these issues. Whatever that is happening between the Oni and the Oloris, make you need a put mouth, because each time you put mouth, so the Oni they happy. Not just the Oni being happy alone, but naturally everything is always going south, south, south. At the end of the day, people are not really excited. Thank you, and see you some other time. Bye bye. Bye bye.